My next question is from Andres. What is your recommendation for someone who wants to know all there is to know about permaculture? I would like to travel directly to Australia and learn from you someday, but the reality is I'm unable to do so at present. This PDC is clearly an option to help with that, but what else can I do? How would you pursue the goal of learning permaculture in such depth? Well, to quote Bill Mollison, the more Bill said, the more he learned about permaculture, the more he realized he didn't know about permaculture. So it's just impossible to learn, you know, all there is to know about permaculture. That's just too big a statement. You're going to have to live a few thousand lives to get that one. And even then you're going to be missing out. It's impossible. You can't know everything. It's an infinite amount of information and it keeps infinitely evolving. So I don't think that's what you mean. And I've probably disappointed you if that is what you mean. The best thing to realize is what you don't know. Which bits don't you know about permaculture? Which bits are you least confident about? Which part of the course do you feel most deficient in? And go and study that. Find people that you admire for what they've achieved, what they've done, what they're doing. Don't worry if you don't always like everything they say, because we all say things we regret. And go and study from them. Coming to study from me isn't necessarily something that might satisfy what you need. I've always been a bit of a rough maverick and gone out there and done whatever I can as quickly and rapidly as possible. And I've put in this crazy demonstration site that's extended out in all directions and it's sort of overdeveloped. It's not a sensible bit of development here at Zaytuna Farm that you would copy unless you want to show demonstration of many different things in one site. My advice to you is to relax, enjoy the journey. Don't be in too much of a rush. Allow it to evolve. Sit in the forest like this and allow the lessons to begin in front of you. Start small, learn from small systems. Realize that, you're always willing, you're always willing to help other people. You should always be willing to help other people. If you think that you have something to offer, if you think you can help and you're asked to help, then make an affirmation that you'll always say yes. Make an affirmation that, if you're asked to help and you think you really can, that you always will. And that'll start, one incredible journey for you. And enjoy the journey. It's an amazing journey. And you will never, ever get to the end of it. I mean, there is a point when you start to feel comfortable with infinity because you realize you're always going to be learning and you'll never know everything there is to know. And if you did, you'd probably be insane. You wouldn't be able to cope with it. And it's just not needed. Here at Zaytuna Farm, I've recently pulled back on the demonstration site to extend out in a people system, an eco-hamlet development, which there's a question coming up about. So, yeah, relax, enjoy, seek out people that you would really admire. I've often said to people, why don't you buy a round the world ticket with as many moldable stops as possible, use Permaculture Global as the networking system and travel the world to different demonstration sites where people want help from volunteers. Stay as long as you can afford to stay. Look after yourself, pay for your food and accommodation. If you are really useful to those people, they will offer you free accommodation, they will offer you free food, and if you're really useful, they'll beg you to stay as long as possible. That's a compliment. And then travel on from site to site to site, and by the time you get right the way around the planet and back to where you started, you'll have a permaculture, resume, and you'll already be an experienced global permaculture practitioner or designer or teacher. because that'll be an experience. That'll be one hell of an experience. And I know many people have done that. They've traveled the world. Some have flown, some have done land trips without flying, from permaculture site to permaculture site, and they've just used Permaculture Global. That's one of our websites, Permaculture Global. We offer this global networking website for people and projects worldwide. Email those people, get in touch, ask them if they want volunteers, line yourself up with a trip. And there are people near you where you are. There are people near you on that Permaculture Global that could do with some help, and you'll get help from that experience. So that's my advice.